Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, today here we are going to have the first contender of the proposal seminar. Today we are going to have two contenders. First here it will be Tiara, Djati, and then second one it will be Reza. Yeah. And then hopefully after this one, Reza gonna contact me because I already shared the link for him, but no response at all. Yeah. And for the first contender here, it's Tiara, Djati, and then your title, it is increasing the student speaking ability through role-playing card methods using the Sloven's formula. And then your advisor is your advisor, Tiara?
Miss Lydia, sir.
And your advisor is Miss Lydia. Okay, before we are going to start this proposal seminar, let's recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And how that we are going to conduct this proposal seminar, I'm going to give you a time here to explain your complete proposal, 10 minutes maximum. After that one, I'm going to give you several kind of questions, based on the explanation that you get. Okay, and I'll be the one that's sharing the screen for you, and then you can focus on giving explanations. Time is yours. Come on, Tiara.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will presenting my proposal thesis. Here's the title is Increasing the Students' Speaking Ability Through Role-Playing Card Methods Using Sloven's Formula. Okay, next slide. Chapter 1, Introduction. There's background of the study. As stated in Katwa in 2020, English is currently the language that is spoken the most over the globe, both as first and second language it is, as well as a foreign language. People use English primarily for interpersonal communication with the growth of technology and globalization. It is clear the majority of people utilize English as a language of communication. The data from English Proficiency Index, or EPI, in 2021, Indonesia ranks 80 out of 112 countries in the world with a score of 466 points. Meanwhile, in 2022, Indonesia ranks 81st out of 111 countries that conduct EFSAT, or Standard English Test, with a score 469 out of maximum score of 800 points. It means that Indonesia including a low English speaking classification and needs to improve in understanding English. Okay, sir, please next slide. Yeah, chapter 2, literature review. There are speaking, teaching, speaking, role-playing, and Sloven formulas. First, speaking is one type of active or productive skills. It means that Chastain in 2015 urges that speaking is said to be a productive skills or active skills because they cover several aspects including grammar, strategy, sociolinguistic, and discourse. Speaking is much more than making the right songs, choosing the right words, or using the right structure. It is the most crucial tool for solving communication problems. And there are several components of speaking, including pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. And second is teaching speaking. Many English teachers still focus almost exclusively on reading and writing in class, basically ignoring listening and speaking ability. Speaking skills should be taught in language classes if the objective is to enable students to converse in English. Speaking skills must be taught and developed in language class because the goal is to enable students communicate in English in order to achieve a good language balance. And third is role playing. Scrivener in 2015 state that in role playing, the learner is typically provided some background knowledge about the role. It means a person or a position. Role cards frequently have this written on. Learners can spend some of time getting ready before meeting with other students. Their thoughts and any information from the role cards. Role cards serve a vital purpose. As a result, students are given crucial information about the roles they will perform as a result. As a result of the basic direction being placed on the paper, and it can help the students for express crucial information about the persona they are portraying while also giving the speaker greater confidence. And the imagination of students, as stated in Walska, can grow through or role playing. Students may need to use their imagination and creative thinking to fulfill the function that has been assigned. The last is Sofian formula. The formula was formulated by Sofian in 1960 to determine the sample size, especially if there is uncertainty about the population behavior. Let N be the population size, and the margin of error, or E, denotes the allowed probability of committing an error in selecting a small representative of the population. Okay, next slide, sir, please. Okay, chapter 3, time and place. This research will be conducted in the second of semester of 8th grade in academic year 2022-2023. And this research will be take place at Public Junior High School 19, South Tangerang. And method of the study in this research, the researcher using the quantitative research method with pre-experimental design. The researcher used pre-experimental design which focus on one group, pre-test post-test design in the study. One group indicates that only one class will use for the study testing. Pre and post-test work to measure the success of the study, and the students of the pre-experimental group receive treatment using role-playing card methods where the students can use to practice their speaking English. Operational definition variable. There are two types of variable, namely independent SX and dependent XY. Independent variable is a variable which influences two other variable, while dependent variable is the one which influenced by independent variable. The independent variable of this study is role-playing card using Sofian formula, and the dependent variable of this study is student speaking ability. Please, next slide. So, okay, for population and sample in educational research, population is a group of persons who process certain the characteristic. The 8th grade students of Public Junior High School 19 South Tangerang in academic year 2022-2023 are the population in this research, and the sample is the segment of the intended audience from which the researcher intends to extrapolate findings about the intended audience. This research has 30 students as the samples from 8th grade in Public Junior High School 19 South Tangerang. And for collecting the data in the study, the researcher used 3 different types. There's pre-test, treatment, and post-test that need to as the instrument that need to reliable. And for technique of analyzing the data, the researcher used Sofian formula to know the accurate sample research, and then the research conduct tests. After that, collecting the result of the test, and the researcher give the score for the students that's suitable with the criteria. And after collecting the data from both pre-post test, the researcher utilized statistical tests with paired sample t-tests indicated by SPSS 25 version to persuade that the pre-test and post-test using role-playing can increase student speaking ability. Okay, that's all for me, sir.
Okay, that's all. Tiara Djati Anugrahari.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanations.
Yeah.
And then can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, it's clear, Miss, sir.
Okay, now we are going to discuss your PowerPoint presentations. Yeah, starting with this one. Yeah, your title here is increasing the student speaking ability through role-playing card methods using the Sloven's formula. Yeah, so there are several kind of terms here. Starting with the first, speaking ability. Second one, we have role-playing card methods, and then next one we have Sloven's formula here. My questions. How that you are going to be sure that you are going to increase the student speaking ability uh, by using a role-playing cards method and then also using Flovin's formula. Can you try to explain here between role-playing cards method and then why here you're mentioning also about Slavian's formula? Because based on your title, it seems like you're going to implement two things, two terms. Yeah. First here it will be role-playing card methods, and the next one's Slovene formula. Okay, come on. That will be the first questions, please.
Okay. For the title is how to measure the increasing the student speaking ability of from the collecting data that I told before with pre-test, treatment, and post-test, and role-playing card. In the pre in on the pre-test, I will invite the students, 2 or 3 students, to come forward in front of the class. That I will give the card that is a flashcard to dialogue with this card that with the information that I gave this card. And after that, we know the basic from students, the basic speaking skill from the students. And then I will give them the treatment to improve increase their speaking ability. For after the treatment, I will provide them to post test. And the Slovin's formula, it is a differentiator for another researcher, because the Slovene formula is useful to measure to practical method to determining the size of number of samples provided the population is relatively large. I think that's all, sir. Why I use the Slovene formula.
Okay, massive thanks, Tiara Jati Anugrahari, for answering the questions. Yeah, but to be honest, there are several kind of what is it reasons why that we have to choose this role-playing card method, and then why that we use also Sloven's formula here. Would you please
Okay.
answer this one? Okay, you're mentioning role-playing card methods. That will be the first method. And then next one here is the Sloven's formula. So what is it with the Sloven formula here?
Okay. So role in the role, why I choose this role playing card, because this method is interesting for the students speak to speak about the daily conversation with the cards that I give them with the information that below and on the card. And why I use the Slovene formula, I think it's because it's differentiator for the research. And Slovene formula is useful for measured the sample?
Okay, so first thing, you're using Slavin's formula. It will be the special thing when you're going to measure the result of the treatment. Hello, Tiara?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you're going to use Slavin's formula here only when you're going to get the result based on pre and then also post test. That way.
Yeah, sir. Sloven's.
Okay, one more. Okay, one more time.
Sorry,
Please
sorry, sir.
kindly explain it. Slovene formula here for the role playing card methods, please. Slovene's
Okay.
formula itself. Come on, would you please
Oh,
come with
Sloven
a
formula.
better kind of explanations? Slovene formula is a formula that we use to blah blah blah. Come on.
Okay, Sloven's formula is determining the minimum number of samples needed in research needs to pay attention to the established error tolerance limit. And the for the formula that I told before, it's N for sample size and E for the error. So N equals the big N divided 1 plus N times E squared for the measure about the sample that I.
Okay, I guess that should be enough for the title, my dear Tiara. Now let's go with the second one. On your chapter one, on your background of the study, to be honest, I'm trying to get the main reasoning. Yeah, the main reasoning here, why that you have to take, or why that you are going to conduct a study and title based on the title that you're going to do for this research. Yeah, you have to elaborate more kind of reasoning, more kind of proof or evidence that gonna lead us, okay, that you really need to conduct this study. Yeah, that will be my suggestion for your background of the study based on your PowerPoint presentation and then also based on your explanations. And then now let's try to have a look at the second chapter. Second chapter, we are mentioning several terms, starting with speaking, teaching speaking, role playing, and then also Slavin's formula. To be honest, when we are going to compare between a pre and then also post test in every single kind of research that we are going to use, it is a pre or it is a quasi kind of the experiments. Yeah, hopefully you are going to come with a specific, or what is it, a real explanations. Yeah, how did you use this Slavian's formula, and then why it is integrated with the role playing and then also with the teaching speaking itself. And then you have to consider also for the literature review here, what kind of the level, what kind of the school that you are going to implement this study. It is for the junior high school or it is for the senior high school. You gotta mention it also. You gotta explain, you gotta elaborate more. Okay, for the literature review. That will be my suggestions. Okay, and then next one for time and place method of the study of personal definition of the variable. For this one, hopefully, since you're mentioning it will consist of pre and then also post test of it, so you're going to mention here what type of deep research that you're going to conduct here, and then how that you're going to, what is, how that you're going to develop, how that you're going to build all the elements, yeah, of the method and then the procedure that you're going to use to complete your thesis. Yeah, that will be the third chapter of your research proposal. And then it is also the same, you're mentioning population and then sample. You're going to come with, okay, this will be the amount of the population that you're going to use for this research, and then this will be the amount of the sample for this research. And then you're going to mention also what kind of the technique that you're going to use to pick, to choose the sample. Yeah, so not randomly, okay, the population consists of blah 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 blah, and the sample consists of blah blah blah, but you have to come, okay, this will be the populations, and then the sampling technique that you use, yeah, consists of this kind of the sampling technique. You're gonna mention that one, yeah, and then also the techniques of the collecting the data, you're gonna mention it here. If you're mentioning it is only consists of pre-treatment and then also post-test, so you're going to mention also several kind of the activities, several kind of program that you try to make to gather all of the data. Yeah. For example, do you try to, what is it? You try to interview the teachers. You try to give an interview for the students, yeah, and then you try to, what is it? Trying to give the students several kind of the activities for them before they're going to get the pre-test or before they're going to get the post-test. Okay, and
Yeah.
then next one, techniques of the technique of analyzing the data. You gotta mention it. What will be the process of it? Yeah, what will be the process starting with gathering the data, how that you're going to select the data, making a list of it, so till you're going to do an analysis process of it. That will be technique of analyzing the data. And then with this one, we are going to figure it out here. What kind of the process that you're going to make starting from picking or selecting the data till how did you organize the data, and then how did you analyze the data till you come to the conclusions. Okay, Tiara, is
Okay,
that clear
sir.
enough for you?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Okay, and then for the complete revisions, hopefully you can come to my office and then we're going to talk more about your complete proposal. Yeah, because this
Okay,
will be
sir.
only consists of first chapter, second chapter, and then third chapter based on the PowerPoint presentations. Okay, we are going to discuss more. We are going to what is it? We are going to talk more about your complete proposal. Okay, Tiara
Okay.
Jati Anugrahini,
Okay, sir.
all set, all clear, or do you have any questions based on my suggestions?
Yeah, there is answer.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's all. That should be enough for your proposal seminar. And then I'm so
Yeah.
sorry because it's too noisy, I guess, here. Yeah. And then hopefully you're going to come as soon as possible. Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
you can meet me on Friday. That should be okay. Or next week, that should be okay. And we're going to talk more about your complete proposal. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, then
Okay.
let's
Thank you
close
so much, sir.
this proposal seminar here by reciting Hamdalah together. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillahirobbilalamin.
And best of luck for the revisions. And then last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Tiara.
Thank you, sir.